I'm sure the lighting in here is great.
I wanted to know, because we are in Germany, and I'd like to know if you have a most favorite song of Hildegard Knef.
I mean, my husband, Johann Weisbrot, who's German, he's a huge Hildegard Knef fan, and I love and he always wants me to sing the one about the roses. So that's that one I love. And there's the other one that goes eins, na, da 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 da. So those two I know very well. Most famous, yes. And also I do know her. I don't know her very well, but I've had dinner with Heike, the actress who played Hildegard Knef. Yes. I've had dinner with her, and she seems like a very nice woman, and so I saw her movie.
Okay.
So I know a bit about Hildegard actually.
And you've been to Berlin for the Shakespeare sonnets.
Yes.
And you said you love the Berlin ensemble.
Yes.
Anyone special?
Well, I mean, I certainly working with.
Wahre Redlichkeit bedeckt mit Hohn.
Incredible experience. But working with her was incredible. So incredible that I remember every moment. But I think it was also. I mean, certainly, working with Bob Wilson is a lifetime is a huge life experience for someone who's interested in the theater and being in that space too, that theater which oddly enough doesn't seem very Berlin-like, how rococo and kind of antique it is. It's very it's such a gem that building survived.
Some people might say you or see you like a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
Is that what you would say about yourself?
Well, I mean, if I was able to be placed in I won't even say the pantheon, but let's say the high mountain of songwriters that America and Canada have produced. People like, whether it's Leonard Cohen, whether it's Cole Porter, whether it's Gershwin, whether it's Bob Dylan, and if I could be somewhere, at the bottom of that, hilltop, but still, fairly high, I would be completely overwhelmed and completely satisfied. But it's not. So it really depends. I mean, I also love writing operas. I've written one opera, and I'm writing another one. So I enjoy that, and we'll see how that goes. But I have written a lot of songs, and if 2 or 3 of them are remembered for a year after my death, then I won't be too happy. I think I want a little more than that. Maybe 100 years after my death.
You're going to write another opera.
Yes. I mean, it hasn't been announced yet officially, and so I don't get into too many details because I have to work out all the contracts with the different opera houses. But there's been a lot of interest in my operatic leanings, and also I do think that it'd be nice to bring back melody to the opera, so make it into a little more of a popular form. I mean, I love all sorts of opera. I love, Alban Berg, I love Strauss, whatever, the whole thing. I love Wagner, and so I think there's many different aspects that can exist. And I just want to make it, my aspect will be a little more popular and a little more melodic.
Okay.
So there seems to be some interest in it.
And I read you love or you like Schubert.
Yeah, I love Schubert. Yeah, I adore Schubert. Okay. I mean, as a songwriter, you can't help but.
He's a songwriter.
No. Schubert is probably the first really great songwriter. And also when you think about how he used to sing his own songs, at parties and stuff, and how it sort of yeah, he for me is the first great European songwriter.
But he's very melancholic.
Yeah. Well, that's.
And your songs also are in the former time were very melancholic, and at the new album I see another.
Yeah, they're a little brighter on this album. Yeah, I try. Well, especially the last album I made before Out of the Game, Songs for Lulu, that was extremely melancholic.
But I love it.
So I felt it important to kind of make a shift.
Okay.
Not forever. I mean, I'll get sad again, don't worry. But, you know, life has many seasons.
Yeah.
And so it can't all be one thing.
Do you see yourself as an anachronism? Because we talked about you and thought you are some kind of figure of the 19th century.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm definitely influenced by the 19th century heavily. I do thank God that I wasn't born in the 19th century because, well, one, if you're gay, it was a lot harder. But also, I do think that, funnily enough, I'd probably be very different then, even in terms of just my general attitude. I've always wanted to be different. I've always, you know, and I think that if I had been born in that time, I would have searched for something, another aspect to you know, revolt with. But I actually find that today, because of the world we live in, which is one of essentially conservation, you know, I mean, whether it's the environment or, you know, architecture or culture, everything's already been destroyed and has been really ruined, and now we're kind of in this process of building it back up or trying to save what's left of the planet, and you know, and so I find it's very important to look back into the past and to really kind of use all the tools that we have on every front to, you know, to make a better world for our children, and like I don't think we're in a, like I think if it was in the 20s, let's say, or even in the turn of the last century of the 19th century, I think that was a proper time to kind of destroy everything and to start again and look for the new, but I don't think we're in that same sort of position anymore. I think it's more about kind of saving what we have.
Okay, I hope so. I hope so. What are you going to do on 21st December when it's the end of the world? Have you some plans?
I have a show. I have a concert.
You have a show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a concert in Los Angeles.
Okay.
With my family, actually.
Okay.
So we'll all be together. It's a Christmas show in in Los Angeles, and so yeah, we're all gonna go together on stage.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
And you have Christmas with the whole.
And then we'll stay in California for. I want to be around Christmas in LA for Christmas because my daughter lives in California.
Okay.
So I want to be around her in general, whether it's the end of the world or not. And then if the world doesn't end, then I'll spend New Year's skiing in the mountains with my husband.
Okay.
We like skiing.
Okay, I think I won't take your time too
well,
long.
thank you so much. Thank you.
It was very nice.
Oh, good. Thank you so much for taking the time yourself.
Yeah.